crazy. There's over 2,000 agents in Bakersfield.
Wow.
And only about like 500 close a month. So that tells you a lot.
Welcome back to the Passionate Paycheck Podcast. On today's episode, we have Brittni. Hey, Brittni, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming, for sure. So to get started, go ahead and let the audience know a little bit of your background and what you're currently working on.
Yeah, so my name's Brittni Brewer. I'm in real estate. I go Brittni Waddell for that. I didn't change my name legally for real estate yet. And so a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Bakersfield, and then I went to college at Chapman University and left Bakersfield for about 13 years. I moved to New York and did digital advertising for 8 years, then moved to LA and did that sometime for there too. Then I got into real estate and did that for a little bit there, got back with my now husband, and then moved back to Bakersfield, and I'm a full-time real estate agent here.
There you go. That's exciting.
Yeah.
A little bit of traveling and meeting other people and all that, huh? How did that go?
Yeah, it went really well. I love New York. I love a really fast-paced, intense personality. Like, I'm very direct, so I find that really, really fun. And
Get to the point. I like that. Actually,
Yeah.
It gets you places faster and better, you know?
Yeah, and I just found, like, when you start your career out in New York, you're used to very, like, aggressive and direct, and you don't really want fluff. I remember, like, one of my first few months being in LA doing the same job. They're like, can you make the tone of your email a little bit nicer? And I was like, but it's facts. I'm giving facts in the email I don't understand. So that's when I was like, oh, culture shock. Like, I have to be sweet and, like, soft here. In New York, no one cared about that. Right. You're like, say exactly what you need to get done and get it done. And I don't want excuses.
Yeah, because sometimes people take direct as rude, and it's not. You're just being direct.
Yeah, I definitely.
Get straight to the point.
Yeah, and with my personality, I have a big personality, one. And then I am very direct, and they're like, oh, you just, like, say it. And I'm like, yes. I'm not holding it back, guys.
Yeah, because in New York, they're way more, like, they cuss a lot more, and they're kind of fuck your feelings kind of thing. They're
for sure.
Just get this shit done. I told you this. That's it.
Yeah, and if you fuck up, they're going to tell you. Like, you messed up. What happened here? No, I don't want excuses. Like, I need to know, like, how am I going to get this done and fixed?
Yeah, get fixed.
So, yeah, for sure. But it, like, was such an asset to me because I'm now so solution-oriented as a person. Yeah. Anytime something even comes up with my clients in real estate, I always find a solution before I go back to them, if that's all possible.
Yeah.
And I take on so much stress for my clients, and I find, like, some real estate agents don't know how to handle that kind of stuff leading up in the business, and they don't know how to, like, do multiple things at once. And I was in such a fast-paced environment. Like, I was managing Verizon Fios campaign with, like, $8 million a month in campaign dollars. And then I was with Lexus in LA, and I was managing like $18 million. Wow, so, like, I manage a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy the trust they have in you because, like, I'm like 22 to 28 in that career, managing multi-million-dollar deals, you know?
But if you can make it happen, that's what it
Well, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
How did that feel, doing all that work and managing that money like that young?
I think it made me feel empowered that you have all this control and people trust you. And you do work a lot with numbers in digital advertising. That wasn't my thing. My favorite part was getting to know people. Because in advertising, a big part of it is to build relationships with your clientele. And that's always been my favorite. That's why real estate's so fun. Like, I was in one of my clients' weddings because I got so close to her after the whole process.
Yep.
So, like, anytime I've, like, worked with people, it's like, oh, how do I connect and make a human experience with you and, like, become your friend? Because the most fun part about life is, like, connecting with humans, I find.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
How you make them feel. They remember.
Yeah.
You make them feel.
Oh, for sure.
Comfortable, and they're not, especially if they're first buys, they don't know. Everything's kind of weird, and you making them feel comfortable and easy for them. Because it can be a bad experience or traumatic sometimes. Even though you're just buying, you end up with a house stuck with a house that you didn't want.
And you always have to go above and beyond for people in that because of the feelings that come along with it. And, like, real estate is so stressful, not only for the real estate agent, but for the buyer or seller, because you're dealing with so much of someone's money again. That's really, I never really, like, correlated that. I'm always dealing with a lot of money, like, for people. But I like feel so honored even with real estate to deal with that because like I have so many checks and balances that I will not fuck up on your deal. And like, thank God I haven't been sued or anything like that because I have so much organization in the back end to make things like go smoothly. Literally, I had a baby and I was on the phone right after I had her. Like my husband has a video of me talking on the phone.
Doing
deals. Yeah. And it was so awesome. My TC was just like, you just had a baby and you're better than half the agents than I like work with. I was like, thank you so much, Tracy. That means so much to me.
How good of an agent are you? Well, I'm making things happen right now.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna just forget about you, even though I had a baby.
Yeah, because life keeps going.
Especially for these people, like if something goes wrong in a deal, you could be losing someone anywhere from like $19,000 to like $50,000,
Right.
depending on the sell of the home. You know what I mean? That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's a big gap too. They'd be like, "What the hell just happened?"
Exactly. And to lose people money like that, that's stressful.
Oh yeah, it is.
And that could change someone's life because if you're not like a rich person, no one wants to lose money.
Yeah.
But like some people, that's all the money
That's
they
all
have.
The life savings.
Yes. And you're just like, you have to take that seriously. And some people don't. And they just like only care about themselves. I'm like, how are you in this industry?
Right.
Yeah, in it for the money usually.
I can't imagine doing it like that. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I like money. I
Of
want to
course,
make a lot of
we're all in
money.
business for money, yeah.
Yeah, but I care about people more.
Yeah,
What value you could bring to people, and like we go back to the same thing, that experience and how you made them feel.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's the same people that are going to recommend you and like why you're so successful in real estate or whatever you're doing. But let me ask you this: what made you transition from the marketing to the real estate?
So in digital advertising, it was always a lot about numbers, and I was ready to get into the more of the people business. And I always thought I would like real estate because when I was a little girl, I'd be like, Mom, can we go to the model homes and like go walk them and stuff like that? And then in New York, for rentals, you get a real estate agent a lot. So I had them showing me, and I was like, I think I'd really like this job. And so when it came to a transition to where it's like, I'm at the age where I should try something new or stick with this or go into sales in real estate. And I was like, I can always go back to that.
Yeah.
Let's go try it out. And so I got into real estate.
Loved it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love it.
There you go.
I love people.
So you never work a day in your life.
Exactly, because I love my job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
for
go.
sure.
and have you always been like this, like very people oriented, like with the people you're managing to, with all that money, you kind of built those relationships?
100%. I've always been people focused and like even when like I travel, because we were talking earlier about travel and stuff like that, and I've been to 31 countries, and
Wow.
like I love to go and like meet people in the culture, immerse myself, and then a lot of that I've traveled alone. So when
Nice.
I'm traveling by myself, I was like, I hate being alone because I love people and I need to talk,
Yeah.
obviously.
But you meet so many people when you travel alone.
Yeah. Oh my God. I've made like when I was in Nice traveling, I met these two girls at the hostel. Then I asked them to go to dinner. Then we spent the whole day the next day. And then they're like, "You want to go to London to meet my brother and like go hang out with us there?" I'm like, regret of my life is not expanding the trip and doing that. But the only reason I didn't is because I met some guys in Fiji and they invited me to stay with them in England. I don't remember what part it was then, but I did extend my trip with them. And I was like, just like kept like making friends and be like,
Yeah.
hey, and they're like, come with us.
Yep.
It was the best
I
time.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And-
it's all about that kind of stuff for me.
And how do you build that relationship with like your real estate clients, as far as like building the trust with them?
Yeah, so real estate's so interesting. So many people think it's just showing homes, but really it's mainly prospecting and like trying to get the client. Anytime I finally do secure someone who is like actively looking or doesn't know what to do, I'll do a buyer's consultation with them. So I'll meet up with them for coffee, go over the whole buying process, and then just like try to get to know them too. Like
Right.
connect on any small thing that we have in common and stay human with them. Either it being the first time they're buying a home and that be exciting, or they're looking to upgrade their home because they're going to the next level, and just like relating on that like human level,
Right.
you know?
And how do they usually react to that? Like, do they feel like, do sometimes they feel like pushback, or do they kind of open up and then just start telling you about their life?
I think it's a mix. Some people are more guarded and
They
don't
don't
want to
wanna
tell you
open up.
stuff. Yeah, for sure. And then some people are really comfortable. I do find, like, even in real estate, I've noticed like my colleagues too, you attract people like you.
Yes.
Weirdly enough.
It is
Like
very odd.
it's like, so I've always had these people like be a balance of who I am, like sometimes a little bit more like this or that, but I've never had a problem like becoming friends with someone who actually used me, because we are more about like connecting and want to have a successful escrow together,
Right.
and they'll put that trust in me. And like I said, I go above and beyond for my clients so they do feel comfortable, and I'm a chameleon in that way. I can adapt to anyone.
And that's the key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever had a client where like you just didn't connect and you're like, you know what, I can't be your agent, or vice versa?
I've never had a client I didn't connect with, but someone lied to me about something, and then I found out they lied,
you're
and
like,
I had to end that relationship.
You're like, I can't be your agent.
Yeah, again, going back to the directness, because they said they lost their job due to the pandemic, and we canceled the escrow. And that puts a seller out too. And if you were honest with me that you're scared, that's one conversation to have, but to flat out say, because he called me and then again and was like, hey, I'm ready to look again. I was like, okay, great, you got your job back? And he's like, what are you talking about? I never lost my
You
job.
forgot about
Yeah.
you forgot
lie.
that. You remembered, but he forgot. He told that lie.
Yeah, but it was only a few months later, and we were like a week to close, and he canceled. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, you told me you lost it this way, and that's where the directness comes in. Like, it probably isn't the best all the time being that direct. You know what I mean? Like, people want you to be soft and lie or like put on this air, but for me, I'm like, well, you did. And moving forward, I have to know that you're going to be honest with me if you can do that. And he got really defensive and angry at me.
And you're like,
And I was like, okay, then we don't have to work together anymore. That's totally fine. We can go our separate ways. I wish you nothing but the best.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
It does happen.
It totally
That's why I
does.
was asking.
Yeah, and then the person he ended up working with did the same thing to him, so I was so grateful. Like, sometimes they're not worth the headache.
Yeah.
That's
And it isn't.
crazy.
Yeah, no, he literally pulled out the week before and
Wow.
said he knew everything. And I was just like, you know what? Like, sometimes you have to walk away, and money's not worth it sometimes.
Oh,
Because, especially in real estate, because people don't realize this. You only get paid when you close a deal.
Right.
So if you get you all the way up to the goal line and then you back out, I did all that work for $0. That's crazy.
That
Just because you
is.
got cold feet.
Yeah. Which is fine, because like I'm here to make sure you get in the right
Yeah.
house and you're happy with it. But when you're lying and being unethical, like I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. I'm kind of grateful the industry kind of shifted, and now you have to have a buyer broker agreement in. It's like a legal requirement. You can do a what is it called? Exclusive one or non-exclusive. I only work with people that are willing to do an exclusive with me, because like I'm gonna put 110% in you. You better not go cheat on me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I show you a house and then you go try to get in the escrow with someone else. Like, that's kind of
So that's what the new agreement is? I didn't know about it.
Yeah, legally, we have to have a contract in
Oh,
place.
okay.
You have to exclusive or non-exclusive. So the agent can make that choice, or you could do a short-term one where you show them just 4 properties with an exclusive, and then they can use anyone after that, or you could even do it like home by home. I'm fine doing that if it's like the first time we're meeting, because some people don't want to do that buyer's
Right, they
consultation.
don't wanna lock up.
Yeah, which is fair. Like, you can get to know me and like earn my trust, like for sure. But I'm only gonna do 1 or 2 that way. And if you know by then you don't want to work with me, then
That's fine.
go work with other people. But I need you to be loyal to me, because I'm not gonna not get paid just because you want to go like date around with all
Right.
these other agents. That's bad business. That'd be me
Yeah.
running a bad business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not dumb, you
Yeah,
know?
definitely understand that.
Yeah, but some people will just take anything they can get, and real estate's definitely a business where you make it what you want. So you have to craft the business you want. No one will give you a blueprint and just say, this is what you do, X, Y, Z. You get to make all these choices.
Yeah.
And it's my choice that I only want to work with people that will exclusively work with me.
Yeah.
That's
Fair enough.
smart though,
That's
because then
perfect.
you get paid. Make sure you get paid, which is the main thing.
Yeah, and these contracts are only for like 90 days. I can't let them go past that. So you have to renew them. And for my clients, I'm like, if you no longer want to work with me, we rip up this contract.
Yeah.
I'm not holding you
For
to me.
90
Like,
days, yeah.
or even less. Like, if you want to cancel it, I'm not going to hold you in a contract with me.
Right.
If you hate me, why would I keep you around? So I
Makes no
just
sense.
want you to be exclusive with me while we're working together and you're happy with my services.
Perfect.
You know? And then we
Easy.
walk away. Yeah.
Is there any surprises you found out about real estate after you started your own business?
Yes. that like yes, 90% is prospecting. It is not showing houses. You are literally on the phones or looking for business any way you can.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be more like, oh, it's going to be so fun, like going and showing homes. Like you'll get all these clients. Well, how do these clients show up?
Right.
No one thinks about that before you get in. And at Keller Williams, I'm a coach for some of the agents, and they all think like, oh, it's going to fall in my lap.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, you are literally going to fail in this industry. You have to go
and start
hunt.
making phone calls.
Yes. Well, it is the biggest hustle, and no one talks about that really, unless you know a shit ton of people that are just ready to go and use you. People who know everyone and their mom. Like, I'm so jealous. Like, that's so dope when you have this like huge network of people. Like you mentioned, you do like personal training. Those people kill it in real estate. Hairdressers, I'm like, you should get your real estate license.
Yeah, because
Do
they're
that
always
shit on
dealing
the
with so many
side.
people.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's the hustle. I had to reach out like thousands and thousands of DMs, just boom, boom, giving free sessions, all that stuff, and
that's what real estate is too. And it's really just getting a people and like collecting the humans to get them to trust you. And even like I'm super involved in the community, like and crazy. I do everything. And even then everyone knows a real estate agent. So even just like last year there was 3 clients. I was like, hey, do you mind just telling me why you used another agent? They were like, oh, childhood best friend, or oh, I use this person because I was in real estate for a little bit and they were my mentor, and I like literally could never bring myself to use someone else.
Right. They're just loyal.
Yeah, which I want you to be loyal to me too. So
100%.
go you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so do you mainly just reach out now, or do you have like a network where people come to you now that you've built your reputation?
It's kind of a combination. A lot of my business is Sphere, but then I'll like do stuff like Op City and like services that you'll give a percentage for leads and stuff like that. And then I still do call around and door knock and things like that.
Do what you got to do depending on how the market's moving and all that.
Yeah. And I am a mom too.
Yeah.
So I got kids that I'm taking care of. So like bringing it all in there. So if you need a real estate agent, just come to me. Make my life easy. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love it if people just stop like flood me with deals so I don't have to go hunt anymore. That hustle is work.
There you go.
But the escrow parts, it's like my bread and butter because it has so much account management in it, because like organization was such a big part of my last job. And so real estate, it's just so easy for me to organize everything and make sure that nothing like falls through the cracks. And that's the biggest part of this like business to help clients.
The prep work.
Yes, and people don't realize, and that's the thing about real estate. Sometimes you have good sellers and shitty people behind the closed doors. And so like they might get all of these clients, but they're not getting good service. And that like just blows me away that you'll never know because you don't know what it takes to get the deals done.
Right.
So like I might not be better at like getting the clients in the door, but I'm way better behind closed doors to make sure you get to keep all your money and there's no fuck ups and we have a smooth transaction.
Oh, nice.
It's really disappointing though when you hear clients' experiences. They're like, "Oh, they did what? Oh, that's really sad."
It happens more than you think, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Or even like I can represent someone with new construction, and a lot of people don't know that. And then they'll use an agent for new construction, but then they'll just like ghost them for the rest of the deal. Well, I'll like talk to the new construction companies, be like, no, come to me. I'm taking off the stress from my client. Like the new construction.
Take care of you.
Yeah. Because a lot of people just I think the new construction does like this too, when you just let the buyers work with them. But I want to protect you. You used me with new construction, so I can go to bat for you and make sure nothing's being missed. So many things can be overlooked if someone's not on top of it.
Oh, I bet.
You could get taken advantage of so quick.
Yeah, I've heard about that a lot. Like just people just saying this and then doing something else and then taking more money than they should. Or
Well, that can happen too with buyer's agents as well, especially with these buyer broker agreements, because you can say, oh, they'll pay this transaction fees and stuff like that. And I'm like, look, you're getting paid and you run a business. Use your money. I don't know. That's my personal opinion, though. I don't believe in making my buyers pay my transaction fees. Like, or the sellers pay my transaction fees or anything like that. Like I pay for photos, my TCs, and like all the little stuff because like why am I getting paid?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, of course, you're going to have business expenses, and we do make good money when someone pays you fairly.
That's basically part of you investing into that project.
Yeah, for sure. And you will be, like, go look on Zillow at some homes. These agents are taking their own photos. I was like, what a joke. Like, hire an agent that's going to at least take professional photos. It looks horrible. I'm like, I literally don't want to see your home just because your photos look like shit.
Yeah, that's a big...
It's crazy. So anytime like people are looking for an agent, they should see what they've listed in the past. Like should see examples.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but you're right.
Yeah, like what are you doing for me?
Just like they look great, and there's some like you're right. You don't even want to go look at the house because it's not attractive.
Well, and if you don't have good photos, people literally will not show up. Like that is such a big part of it. Everyone's looking online these days.
Oh yeah.
It's not like in the past where they had these like booklets, you know what I mean? The agents are telling you go look at stuff, you know? So it's really hard. But sometimes you can get a deal too looking at those shitty photo homes. Because like they're not getting a lot of offers. It's shitty for the seller, but it's great for the buyers. Yeah. Go look at the home. Like look past that stuff sometimes, you know what I mean? Like that's another thing about buyers. Like they'll be like, well, like they don't have the decorations. Well, you're gonna decorate the home. You gotta like really have a creative mind when you're buying. And some people are so like logistical. Like I just worked with doctors, and they'd walk in, but I can't see myself. That's hard.
Yeah.
To look past for some people, and I'm like, but you can make this place dope.
Yeah.
You just need to look past that.
You can arrange it and fix it however you want. But
especially
a lot
if
of
you have
people
money.
don't have that vision.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to like walk my clients through like, oh, this is what I would do. Like when I bought my house, we bought in 2020 and got into escrow in February. So like the best time to get in ever. Like we already have like $150,000 in equity, which is just nuts. You know what I mean? And we walked in and I was like, I want that wall knocked down. I want to change this or that. And we just like did it right away. My father-in-law is a general contractor, so that helped.
A lot easier.
Yeah. But like when I'm walking a house with a client, I like try to tell them too. Yeah. If they like, which not all agents could do that either, you know, because you have to be a creative mind to do that. Yeah, because
it seems more like you got to give them the visual. So like if you have a house already done up and furnished and everything, open key, it's a lot easier than it's just an empty house. Sometimes they look too small, sometimes they look too big, or depending on what they're looking for, but because they can't visualize.
Yeah.
Or like if you have to do a little bit of remodeling, they can't visualize all that.
Well, and that's the thing too, sellers never want to spend any money when they're leaving. But you can actually gain a lot more money if you do the upgrades. Sometimes you got to spend a little money to make more. Yeah. And they're not willing to do that. Or like Bakersfield like rarely stages a home.
Yeah.
You walk in LA, everything's staged, and those homes are gorgeous, and they sell faster because of it. They say you'll get, they'll sell 25% quicker if they're staged. And I know it'd be even faster in Bakersfield because so many of my clients are like, well, what would I do with this space? Well, if you had it staged, you'd see it. And it'd be staged beautifully.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like right now, a lot of people are doing is visual staging. So that it'll be all like AI stuff, you know what I mean? And that definitely helps get people in the door.
But not the same when you see it in person.
And also people don't think about if you have a home staged, they're not going to look at all the little shitty things about your house. Because they're going to be looking at the furniture.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can put a couch here. I can put a couch there.
Yeah, and you're not like, oh, the floorboards are really dirty. Or like that paint color is disgusting. No, because you did a color palette with the furniture that makes it all look better. Right. You know what I mean? Or you took the time to paint the house a like very neutral color that it's not like ew. Because you'd be shocked by like what some people are just like, I won't buy it because of this.
Yeah, little things. Like, oh, you could just clean it up, or you could just paint that and you're good.
Yeah, but people like won't. They can't see past it.
They go back to the same thing. They can't visualize something so little, let alone the whole house already done. So if you could just stage it, sold.
Yeah, for sure. But then the sellers would have to spend a little bit more money, like staging it, and they don't want to put that upfront cost.
Yep.
Which I'm like, I don't know. I would do it.
Yeah, especially with that statistic, 25% faster rate.
Yeah, that's a lot faster. Especially in a market like this, that's more like getting more balanced. Like the only way a home's selling is if it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And how do you adjust throughout the markets as the interest rates get cut, go up, stay?
What do you mean by adjust?
Like, how do you adjust like your tactics as far as like the interest has gone up, so now this house is gonna have a higher interest than if they would have bought last year or the year? Because I know the interest rates always change.
Yeah, and they are on the like higher end for what they were in the 20 and stuff like that. But you just have to educate your clients through all of that, because if you bought now versus later, Bakersfield is such a growing market that home prices are only going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even with all of these changes and tariffs and like interest rates, we're still seeing houses sell pretty quickly. Like homes are selling within 38 days on the market.
Oh, nice.
That's fast, like historically. I mean, it's not like it's gone in the first weekend type of stuff like it was during the pandemic, but that's still really, really fast. And just letting people know, educating them, asking them the right questions. Real estate's all about like asking the questions to make sure that they feel comfortable moving forward. Also, like some agents are in the business of manipulating people into buying. I'm not. If you're ready, you're ready. If you're not, you're not. And that's on you.
You're not gonna push them.
No, I'm not. Because like I never want you to feel overstressed. I want you to stay comfortable with your means. And sometimes that's like even telling them, hey, I know you want to get in a new house. Can you keep your old house? Like, of course, it'd be better for me if you sold your house. That'd be like a lot more money for me, right? But like, sometimes you have to go people first. And if you have a low interest rate and a really low payment, you should rent that freaking house out.
Yeah.
You are going to make so much more
your
money over time. And like, say like someone's house is like $1,600 a month. Some people have that mortgage. And then you're going to be getting something like maybe $4,000 now to upgrade your house. That's likely the jump you're going to see. And then you can get someone into that house for like 28. You're saving most of your mortgage. You know what I mean? Like you'll pay some, you'll save some money.
Equity.
You're building equity. It's going to be paid off, and then you could tap into that equity anytime you need. Like if a financial crisis happens, and you have that house paid off, you have like $500,000 just sitting in your house.
And you're
Like,
not
that's
gonna pay
equity.
taxes when you take that money out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it depends on how long you've lived in it.
Or even if you get a loan.
Yeah.
Really?
Sometimes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Well, not if you get a loan, but
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
yeah.
If you get a loan, not sell it.
Yeah, but if you sell it, you have the capital
Right.
gains
Oh,
for
yeah.
if you haven't lived in it within the last few years. Yeah.
Was it like 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years and it's tax free. Yeah, I still remember that one.
Yeah, because you want to.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people a house hack too, where they'll like upgrade the house every 2 years or so.
Oh yeah.
It's smart.
I've had
yeah.
people, even I've worked when I used to do taxes, they would move every 3 years from this
Yeah.
house and then go to the next house, and I'll be raking in all this extra money. I was like, that's smart.
It is smart. And then you have to do it smart too with the market, because sometimes like you're not going to see that increase, but like anyone who bought in the pandemic time, you are going to get money back on your house. There's just no
yeah.
way, because the prices increased so much.
Right.
At least in the early time, because it kind of peaked in 2022. So you will see it like level out with that kind of stuff. So you do need to have an agent to run your numbers and things like that. But dang, so many people are coming from LA right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Still.
wild.
It's been going on since, since 2008.
Yeah.
2008, we had the big flood of people coming in, and it kind of, people still coming in, but slowly. But then after this, a lot more people started coming in again.
After
Yeah.
the fire, it seems like after that big fire in LA, people are like, I'm getting out.
Yeah. Well, and they're going to build that speed train, and then it's going to be a 45-minute commute. We're going to
Right.
be the new
Oh,
valley.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to definitely get congested.
Well, yeah. But I'm like, cha-ching, you know what I mean? For me. A lot of people locally, because like my real estate, my social media is focused on reaching people coming from big cities to Bakersfield. And people are like, we don't want to, and I'm like, why? That only helps like grow Bakersfield's mind, brings
Yeah.
creativity, businesses, and that's like a positive thing.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of people don't want it. But I'm like, come on in.
Oh, yeah.
But I left for so long, so I'm like, ooh, like-minded thinkers too, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's fun.
And not only that, it increases the prices up, too.
Yeah, but I think that's what people don't like. Like, it's bringing up the costs of homes and everything like that. But then they have to remember that the market will reflect that. Like your jobs are going to start making more money because people are going to be spending more money here too, you know?
Building more factories, more companies, whatever. So it's just a chain. Everything will evolve with it.
Yeah, because like I had one post kind of go viral over that. They're like, we don't want them, or everyone's selling land to do this or that. I'm like, you realize the farmers are the ones selling the land so they can make money, right? Like, who are you getting mad at here? Like, don't get mad at the builders because like they're just going and making this offer. They're like cashing in, you know? Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, because they even have that Hard Rock that's getting built. That thing's getting built quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're building homes out there too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apartments and homes.
Apartments and homes. So that's going to be raking even more people from LA.
For
especially
sure.
because there's going to be way more jobs and all that.
Exactly. It's going to bring a lot of people in, I think.
And then as far as like AI, how's that kind of impacted real estate?
You know, it hasn't like affected us really like for our specific jobs yet, but it has been really helpful too to like make sure that I'm doing like social media posts, like helping me like map stuff out where I'll write things or like do the videos myself, but it is a really useful tool for us.
Oh, nice. Is there anything that you see that AI is going to come into the real estate market? Because I've seen like different websites that are going to be acting as agents for people, and then they're going to take a smaller percentage from the house. I have seen 2 companies, I think.
Yeah, you have that, and you've always had iBuyers and stuff like that coming in and cutting prices. You also already have like low budget agents. Like there's some in town that will only do it for 2.5% and they'll take 1% and give the agent the other. So, or like, I think it's 3.5%, but you're also paying for what you get. And if you're an anxious buyer, like who's going to be taking your hand and like walking you through that stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You can't predict 100%, but like you really can't replace a person.
No, the human aspect is always something most people will want. Whether even if you are using AI technology, they still need someone to interact. I feel like.
Also, you have to be knowing what to ask with AI, like what questions to ask out.
Exactly.
The prompting is the biggest thing.
Exactly. So how is the buyer gonna know really what they need to know? You know?
Yeah.
Because they can ask a question, but it'd be too vague, and they get this answer, but it's not what they're looking for. It's steered in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and like, yeah, they can like tell you a lot of information, but they don't know how to work with you. Who's opening that door too? They have to hire a human because buyers will never be allowed to open a door themselves. Because we get background checks.
Right. Oh, to make sure everything.
Yeah, that I don't have a criminal record or anything.
She's not a gangster.
I'm not a gangster. I'm safe with everybody.
There you go.
I haven't stolen anyone's shit, you know? But that's why, because you have to have trusted people going to these houses.
Yeah.
And like buyers can go in. Some people leave their jewelry out, you know what I mean? You don't know. Like you have to have someone trustworthy there to like watch you. Yeah. I wouldn't want someone going through my house without someone I knew had a license.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, and another thing that like some sellers don't do, I mean, it's really common that people don't do this, but like I kind of think sellers should start asking for pre-approvals before letting them into homes. A lot of like high-end people do it because then they're not just leaving their house for like some looky-loo.
Right.
But a lot of people at the lower end budget don't do that, and I'm like, you should. Everyone should like make them have a pre-approval before going.
Of the person that's going in.
The buyers.
The buyers.
Because some buyers don't want to get pre-approved before they go buy a house. And I'm like, I won't ever show without it.
Yeah,
it's so.
I think it's important. Like,
what if you can't approve for the house?
Yeah.
You don't know. Everyone thinks, like, I had so many people tell me, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm looking for $500,000. They lliterally get approved and they can buy for, like, $325,000. And I'm like, yeah. And they were trying to look at $500,000 homes. If we went and looked at $500,000 homes and you got approved for $325,000, you are gonna be pissed at the types of houses you're not gonna want to buy at that point because you're gonna be so disappointed in the process. Yeah, but like sellers typically just let anyone in their house, and I'm like, don't do that.
No.
Make them get that pre-approval.
I think that should definitely be something implemented to where you need to definitely be pre-approved. Because even friends that told me they want to buy a house, first question, did you already get pre-approved? No, like, I don't need to. Like, yes, you do. Like, you got to get pre-approved because once you get pre-approved, was it a year? that you're pre-approved for?
90 days, but then it's really easy to like re-up it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they can do soft credit checks too for your approval also, so it doesn't
okay.
affect your credit.
Yeah.
So you can go in and ask them to do that. But a lot of like people think like, oh, my points are gonna go down like 50 points. No, it's like 1 or 2 points when you get a hard credit check. I guess it does depend too, like how many you've had recently and stuff like that. But you can talk to your lender about all that kind of stuff. I tell my clients, even if you're not ready to buy now, go talk to a lender because they're going to give you step-by-step process of what to do.
Same thing I told them. Like when they say, even if you don't get pre-approved, they'll tell you what you need to get pre-approved.
A lot of people want to just
and work on it.
Yeah, and a lot of people just want to go get their credit fixed. I'm like, don't do that. Talk to a lender. They're going to tell you what you got to do. Mm-hmm. And like what to pay or not to pay because a lot of people think like, oh, I need to go pay all this debt off. Maybe not.
Yeah, because they'll hurt you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it won't hurt them, but yeah, I guess it could bite them in the butt because you don't have cash to like close on a house anymore because you paid all this stuff off.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not necessary. So you should always talk to a lender first.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And then some people like I am firm on that because I don't want to waste my time or their time. It is wasting everyone's time, to be honest. And you lose clients sometimes over that, and they just go with someone who will just show them, and they might end up closing with them because, like, it all worked out. So it's, like, a gamble for some people, but, like, my time is so valuable. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to waste it on another person you could have sold the house to, and you just took Bobby and his wife out to this house, and then they don't even buy.
And that waste is, like, not just your time, but your energy. You're away from your family.
Resources.
It's, like, your whole life.
Yes.
Like, people don't get how stressful real estate is. Like, I have a friend that she met this guy, and he went to go look at new construction. She got him into escrow for, like, a $900,000 house. He talked to his lender because he wasn't going to get the deal anymore. The lender convinced him out of it, and then she didn't get the deal. So you think you're going to make, like, $25,000, and it goes in a blink of an eye. Oh. That's what's crazy about real estate, guys. It's nuts. You think you have all this money, and then drop of a hat.
Gone.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's so stressful.
That is stressful.
That sounds stressful.
But yeah, because like your money is not counted for until that closing day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it hits the ACH.
You know what they say? Don't count your eggs. Don't count your eggs.
Yes.
Before they hatch.
100%, and that is real estate. Isn't that wild though? Like, that's the hardest part about this job.
Oh yeah. What's one of the crazy stories you've had?
What do you mean crazy?
Like a deal that didn't look like it was going to go through, but may have went through, and
yeah. So I have a family friend that uses me, and she does investment properties for short-term rentals for like professionals. So she'll do like traveling nurses and stuff like that in condos.
Nice.
And dang, she makes so much money doing it. It's crazy. Short-term rentals are like where it's at for sure, especially in Bakersfield because you think like, oh, I probably won't have a lot going on, but so many traveling nurses come here.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So like you make so much business that way. But anyways, she had a deal. She went with a national bank, and I never recommend my clients go with a national bank because sometimes it could get a little dicey. They told her she was going to get this like really great loan. Well, they canceled that loan without even telling her. They then because they did that, kept pushing things off, and then we got a demand to perform. And so we had to close in 48 hours or we were losing the deal for my buyer. I was up this lender's ass. I was calling everyone their freaking mom, and I was like, where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? And it looked like we were going to lose it. But then they came in last hour and, like, got everything they needed to. But that was, like, them pushing everything off. Like, for 3 weeks, they delayed the escrow. So you really should listen to your agent about what lender you get. And don't go with the national bank if you can avoid it. Unless you are squeaky clean. Like, if you have all this money in the bank and you have this job that's, like, undeniable and you're squeaky clean, like, it's a great deal. But I would not recommend going with a national bank for your loan.
That sounds stressful.
How intense was that?
I made a lot of phone calls.
To the last hour.
Yeah. My husband's like, do you really need to be working? So I'm like, yes, I got to make this happen. Yeah, not just like that. And a lot of the time, too, your clients don't know what goes behind closed doors because, like, and then, like, you'll see, like, them, like, complain about something. You're like, you don't even know. And then you have to share, like, hey, just so you know, like, to take the stress off you, this XYZ was happening. I handled it. Everything is fine.
Everything's fine.
But just so you know, this was all going on.
Yeah.
So don't complain.
That's
Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. I got you. But you are complaining about this, not knowing about XYZ sometimes, you know what I mean? And you have to then educate them on everything that goes on. You get nervous Nellies too sometimes. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Everything's not that stressful.
You were saying you do the escrow too, or you have somebody that does your escrow?
Well, you always have escrow companies.
Right.
Legally, we couldn't. But yeah, I'd go to different companies for the escrow.
I was just asking. I thought you actually had like your own escrow company.
No. I work with Tycor Title most of the time, yeah.
And you mentioned a lot of like the stress. What are some things you like deal with the stress, like to help you manage it?
Yeah, so like I meditate. I go for walks.
That's a big one. I meditate.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I have to. I'm like, oh my God. There's this yogi guy that meditates, and he'll be like, breathe in, breathe out, fuck that shit. And I love him. He's like so funny. And it just
Let
like
it
gives
go.
me a giggle and
Just let it
calms
go.
me down,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And he does like longer ones and shorter ones. And so I'll do that, or I'll go for a walk. Like if it's really, really bad. And what I've learned in this industry is a lot of the time I want to go and like get on the phone right away and solve a problem. But I'm like, no, you need to breathe. You need to process this information. Everyone can wait a little bit. And I'll do that with my clients too. They'll tell me like, hey, I want to cancel this thing. And like, I'll give them 24 hours before I actually react. And then I'll call them the next day because everything has its time. And sometimes you're like, you know what? I thought more about it. I don't want to. And like, so in this job, with it being so high stress, just taking a breath and like giving it space and time to settle down, because everything typically works out. It's very rare that things do fall apart because there's always a solution. And I've found like, if I don't know the solution, I will call everyone their freaking mom.
Yes.
I'm going to find an answer. Like I call, and like I've made a lot of like really strong relationships with the top agents in Bakersfield. And so I'll call them and be like, hey, have you ever had this situation? What do you recommend doing? And they'll like help like
Get the
mentor
input.
me.
Oh,
And I
nice.
love that.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
It is cool. And in LA, you would have never been able to do that without paying someone. That's like so dope about Bakersfield is you have like access to people in high places. And I freaking love that.
Oh yes.
And all you have to do is be like, hey, blah, blah, do you want to go have coffee? I'd love to pick your brain on how to be a better real estate agent. And they'll do it.
They
That's
love it.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do.
They do love it.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to feel like good about themselves,
Yeah.
that they know what they're doing? And these like younger agents like want to learn from them. What an ego boost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I would want that.
Yeah.
You want to come sit with have coffee? I'll tell you how to get it done, you know? I love that. Feels so good.
What would you say is probably one of the biggest challenges new agents face today?
I think they walk in thinking deals fall in their lap. Is not wanting to do the work to get
The
deals.
hustle.
Yeah, they do not think
There's
it's a
new
hustle.
generation in every industry. They just
Yeah.
want to get paid to do nothing.
Yeah, but I worked with new agents that were in their 40s and they weren't working very hard. I literally had sent them a daily schedule to do, a tracker sheet so that we could just hop on a 15-minute call to be like, hey, so what'd you do last week? What are your numbers? Not one of them did it out of 10 people.
Wow.
Dang.
And I'm like, you're never going to get a deal. And the people
That's
that
not your industry.
No, not if you're doing it full time.
Right.
Part time, for sure, do it because you have a steady income. If you think this is your job, 100% you're failing. You have to come into real estate and be like, I am going to work my ass off because you have to. Eventually, you will be referral based only
Right.
if you're good at your job on follow up. Like, that is my bread and butter. I love a follow up.
follow-up.
Yeah, because I already know you. So, like, hey, what's up? How's family? Like, who do you know looking to buy or sell? Or, hey, I'm taking on new clients right now. Who in your life can I help?
Oh, that's smart. The follow-up.
Oh, the follow-up is 100% key in real estate. Staying in people's lives. And, like, the cool thing about real estate is you could do the fun stuff. You know what I mean? Like client events, or I love doing drop-offs. Like, little gifts for them during the holidays and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
one year I did ornaments with, like, the year they bought their house and their address on it. And that's,
Wow.
like, so fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and then
that's
I go,
cool.
like, drop it off at their house and, like, get to meet them, you know? Not everyone's going to do that.
Yes.
That's above and beyond for sure. So
I
you-
want to go above and beyond. I really do.
So that's kind of how you stick out. You kind of do go above and beyond what they expect as well.
Yeah, and to show that I care about them. Because I truly care about these people. Like, this is going to get a little dark. Who thought it'd go there? But one of my second clients that I had in Bakersfield, I loved him. Loved him, loved him, loved him. And I got really close to him as his wife. And then I called him. He didn't pick up, and then found out he passed away. And I was like devastated.
Wow.
I was crying so hard because like I love this person. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people become family in
Yeah.
this. And he was just like the brightest light. And there's like a few clients that, especially when they're older, because they're like, some of them are like my parents' age. So they're like, feel like an uncle kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm super personable. So I'm like, gonna love you.
Yeah.
Like I'm here to like be on your team and family, you know? So yeah, you do go above and beyond for these people because you love them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm just like one of those people. When I'm like all in, I'm gonna show up in your life no matter what. Like if something crazy happens, call me. I will show up. Even if you don't like think you could trust me, I'm there.
Yeah.
Like I'm with like that with my friends, and then like you spend a lot of time with these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Showing them a lot of homes, and like you hear their stress. You like really get to know people in real estate. I love that. That's like so fun. It's my favorite part.
And with all the crazy scheduling, how do you manage all of that? Do you have like a set schedule?
I do have a set schedule, and then I have a set time when I show homes and everything. So I'm very strict about my schedule, especially like with having young children. You have to be.
Yes.
You can't not. So yeah, I'm diligent about my schedule.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
And
like
no, that's good because then you at least give the family time and don't neglect that whole part.
for sure. And like I only show homes from like when my husband gets home. So like I'll schedule showings then or meetings. So like 3:30 to like 7 is like my time to go out.
To go out.
Yeah, and then everything else has to be done at the house.
Nice. So what's one thing you wish your clients would know about real estate when they first come work with you?
That they can trust me implicitly, that I have their back. Like
You got it
they,
handled.
yeah, that I am listening to every need and want they have. And you might not like it, but I am going to give you the truth and reality of the situation. So if you are too much dreaming, I'm going to bring us back to reality while getting you what you need in a realistic, like, sphere.
Yes.
There's going to be a range of what we're going to get you, and I'm going to get you as close to your dream as possible within reality.
Okay, nice.
That makes sense.
You bring them back to earth.
Yeah, and that we're going to have a good time.
That's
We're going to go
right.
see some homes. And actually, this is the one thing I tell all my clients, now that I think about it a little bit more, is when you walk into a house, some agents, it's their goal to only show you 10 homes. I tell them, look, do not convince yourself of liking a house. I'm here to get you in the home that you love, not just into any house. So do not manipulate yourself into any just home. No home is perfect. That being said, when you walk into a house, you'll feel it in your gut. I watched a client do this. She came from LA, and she was seeing these homes. Well, I could like this or that. I was like, look, do not convince yourself into this house. We went and saw new construction. She's like, oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about. I walked into the house, and this was my home.
There you go.
And all of my clients have said the same thing. And you watch them try to convince themselves, and I'm like, I'll look at their face. I'm like, this isn't your home.
Yeah.
But then they light up.
When it's the right one.
So that is the thing I want to tell all my clients. Don't convince yourself into a house. Find the right one.
Okay, I like that. That's a good piece of advice. So I can see someone, I can live here, and then they live here for 5 years. Like, why did I buy this house?
Yeah, and then if you like are regretting it, I feel like that's a reflection on me that I didn't do my job to like navigate you into the right choice.
Right.
Because that's what I'm there for. I mean, if you got like a very tight budget, we have to be realistic, but let's like find something that you could be happy in. And I'm going to ask you those questions, like how does it feel to be in this house? Can you see yourself living here? And then I give them a range from 1 to 10. Anything at 8 or higher, put an offer on a home.
Oh, nice. And since you've started real estate, how has it changed as far as like the market?
Yeah, so when I got into real estate in 2019, it was more of like a balanced market, and then it was a seller's market, like crazy, where you had to, if you didn't have $25,000 to go above appraisal, you weren't getting into a house. And then it's like slowed down again, where it's kind of nice seeing buyers being able to get into homes that they love, like without like breaking their bank. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people talk about how expensive the mortgage is, but really, like, you're keeping more money in the bank up front, and then the second interest rates go down, you refinance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like really cool to see that. So I've been from like a balanced market to a seller's market, and then we're going towards a balanced market again. But yeah, so it's been kind of all over the place.
So where do you see the market probably in the next year?
That's a really hard question to answer because interest rates are going to dictate the market.
Mm-hmm.
And with the tariffs coming into place, we all thought when the tariffs went in that the rates would drop, and they didn't. They did the opposite effect. They went higher. Mm-hmm. And so that's just going to slow people from buying.
Right.
Because then you can't really afford a home. Like, yeah. So it just depends. Like, over the last, 2 years, I'd say we kept thinking, oh, it's going to go down. It's going to go down. Because the market was telling us the rates were going to go down, and it didn't. So it's, really hard to, plan and time the market. You can't.
Right. You can't.
The thing I would tell anyone is buy a house when you're ready. You have the money, go buy the house. Because, now is probably the cheapest time it's ever going to be to buy. Mm-hmm. And if it's not, hold that house for 10 years, and it will be.
Yes.
It'll make money. So many people are scared, well, house prices are so expensive. No. Yes, maybe compared to what they were a few years ago, but yeah, no duh. That's how everything is. Look at the home prices. They've never, yes, there's been drops for markets, but they always go back up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And higher.
Astronomically higher, you know what I mean? You build wealth when you buy real estate.
Yes.
I spent we spent $18,000 to buy my house. I have $150,000 in equity. I made $18,000 into $150,000 in 5 years. No. Where are you doing that anywhere else? You're not. I've had clients buy a house for $200,000. They sold it for $450,000.
Yes.
And then they got into their dream home.
Mm-hmm.
You made over $200,000. That's nuts.
Oh, yeah.
In a span of 8 years. Who's saving that type of money?
Yeah, nobody.
Very few people. Mm-hmm. Unless you have a really, really great paying job. But these are just average Joes.
Right.
They don't realize they're probably even because they're just paying. And then next you know, they have this lump sum.
Yeah. And they're paying their mortgage at that $200,000. And then you sell it for $400,000. And so you just made all this money. That's really, that is the coolest part of my job, is watching people make money.
Yes.
And changing their lives. Or reaching out to clients that are having a really hard time and being hey, maybe you should go take a second mortgage and float you. Because then you're not changing your current interest rate. You're just doing it on the second. That interest rate's going to be higher, but you keep your current one. And so there's a smaller lump of money. But I'm that's so smart. Or a home equity loan credit, and stuff like that. Dang, watching people get their lives saved by their homes is really cool.
You really love the people, don't you?
I really do. I really do. I love people. I've been like this my whole life. I love people.
Even as a kid, you're very...
Oh, my God. So social. When I was a little kid, if kids were being bullied... Okay, so I'm 5 foot. I'm a tiny little human, but I was raised in an alpha household, so I'm scared of no one. I'm you want to go? Let's go.
Let them know.
Yeah. Because I'm a little crazy, too. So, there's more than a bark behind that. You know what I mean? But I've never been in a fight, so there's that, too. But anytime I was a little kid, if someone was being bullied, I'd go stand up to the bully. I was why are you being like this? Why are you being mean to this person? Do you know how much that must hurt? Because I hate watching people hurt.
Right.
So, no. It's funny. Even one time I went to, the VU Polo party in LA, and these guys were about to get in a fight, and I went and put myself in the middle, and all the guys are what are you doing? Don't do that. But I'm but they won't hurt a little girl. You know what I mean? I'm so tiny. They're not going to throw a punch if I'm in the middle. I don't know. I might be wrong.
How did that go?
It stopped. Well, the guy friends I was with dragged me away. It's fine. But they wouldn't let me stay. So,
What's one of your favorite client stories?
I have to think about that. I don't know.
Too many.
Yeah, there are a lot. I think there's so many that are similar. You know what I mean? I think one of my favorites is one person who they bought a house in 2011, and they're in a tiny house. It's like 1,300 square feet. And then they had a child. And then 2 years ago, they went and bought new construction, and they were able to make it possible with the money they sold from that house. Because they made like $250,000 from that. And it's just like really remarkable to see like people light up and be like, oh my God, I found my forever home. Like that feels really good to watch them do that. I think that's one of my favorite stories. And the most recent story is I was working with 2 doctors, and we went and looked at 40 homes.
Holy moly.
40 homes. They were one of the most difficult clients I've ever had, but they were so kind and like wonderful. Like I would take my kids to showings sometimes. They would as well. So it was like awesome to like spend time with these people. Finding them the home that made them so happy was the dopest feeling. Because like they just like didn't really, it was really hard. The husband and the wife like wanted complete different things. So finding something that worked for both of them, that was incredible.
I bet.
And you made it happen.
Yes, I did.
40 homes later.
Yes. And just like people too, like I had to call every agent, make sure they had offers or not, where we need to like make offers at. Because that's another thing I do for my clients. Some agents like will be like, oh, you want to offer that? Okay, let's do that. No, you need to make an informed decision on where that offer is. Make sure your agent's calling the other agent. How many offers do you have? What are they at? Some agents won't tell you anything, and I have to preface that to my clients too. Some are super forthcoming, will tell you exactly what you need to get done. Some won't. So here's the information. What do you want to do from there? You know what I mean? And so many agents like just won't do their job. There's so many lazy agents out there, guys.
Oh, I bet.
It's crazy. There's over 2,000 agents in Bakersfield.
Wow.
And only about like 500 close a month. So that tells you a
shit.
lot.
Not a lot of people are closing.
And there's a lot of agents that are making multiple deals.
Oh, so that's even a smaller number.
Yeah, so if you're making money in this industry, you're one of the top people.
Yeah.
So these are like, they, like you said, they just think people are going to come and they just don't do the hustle, or people are like, quit their 9 to 5 and they're like, oh, I'm going to do real estate. Because that's what I hear people, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go do real estate. But I don't think they understand how much different moving parts are in real estate. Are you going to do
I laugh at
rentals?
them. I was like, oh, good luck with that, my friend.
Right.
Welcome to the
Let
most
me know how it
stressful
goes.
job in the world. And are you willing to work really hard? Because that's the thing, a lot of people aren't. They get into it thinking it's easy.
Yeah.
They're just gonna fall in their lap. And I gotta tell you, some do. Some have a really well connected, but you still are calling those people.
Yes.
Even if you're well connected, you're calling those people. You're putting yourself
Reaching
out
out.
there. Yeah. And then some people's real estate or Instagrams do really well for themselves. Like I know a really young kid. He's like 24. He has 10,000 followers on his Instagram. He slays in real estate over his Instagram. I'm like, dang, my friend, you're doing so
Keep
good.
it up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him too.
Especially
I'm
at
like,
that age.
What a little badass.
Yeah.
Put it in work.
Yeah. And all he does is do like, I call it an inventory page. So he just goes and does like video tours of homes. People eat that shit up. I'm like, I need to do that more.
That's smart.
It is smart.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Have you used social media to kind of help scale your business as well? And how's that been?
Yeah, it's really helped get my name out there. A lot of people like know me more though as the girl who does like restaurant reviews and stuff like that. Because I also did this thing with 2 business partners, Dine and Discover Restaurant Week. So we're on our 3rd iteration that we're going to get ready to do that, and that's been really cool and fun. And we've been branching out to new neighborhoods when we do it. So we started downtown, then did downtown and Southwest, and now we're going to do Rosedale as our 3rd one. So it'll be all inclusive of all of them. And for 2 years, I've been going and doing reviews about small businesses. So if like I go work out somewhere, I'll take a video and post it. I wasn't asking anyone to like cover costs at first, and I'm like, why? Some of my views have 150,000 views. Like that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, I should offer, like ask.
Yeah.
Can you comp this? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, but each one at least gets 5,000 views easy. Some of them have like 1,000 shares.
Oh, dang.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and they're so fun. I love going and supporting local business. I love people, obviously. Like, we found that out. So, like, helping people champion and, like, get people away from, like, anything that is, what is it called? Like, chains. I want you to shop local. Go to local everything. Go to local boutiques. Go to local restaurants. Go to local like gyms and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get out of these big corporations.
Yes.
Go support our community.
I think Bakersfield's pretty big on that, though.
I
overall.
do too, but
We could do
chain
better.
foods, people are like obsessed. Like,
It's like a drug. It's
It
like their
is.
drug. They're
That-
just,
definitely.
I can't
and
get
like
enough.
cheapness of like Walmart, Target. Like there are places you could go outside of Walmart and Target. Like I really like Oleander and Palm to get like my little gifts and stuff like that. They have the cutest stuff for houses. Like if you ever have a housewarming where you want like nice stuff or like even good like syrups, like coffees, syrups.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm trying to save money and not go get coffee all the time, so I'll make it at home. Also, it's so much healthier at home too, you know.
Yeah.
It
less
tastes
syrups.
better usually.
It does. And so I'll get like the fancy syrups and like make all this stuff at home to make it fun for me.
How did that whole episode stuff start? The local business.
So I used to do a YouTube channel of interviewing local businesses and just like going and chatting with them about what they like to do or like about their business to introduce people because that was recommended as a way to get clients. And honestly, I've met some of my best friends through doing
nice.
that. Do you guys know Modern Grub?
No.
Yes, I've heard of them.
Yeah, she does like healthy food, like cooks healthy food for people. What is that called?
Meal
Guys, I
prep?
got pregnancy brain.
Meal
Yes,
prep?
Meal
yeah. I don't have pregnancy brain, but like pre-baby, post-baby brain. My daughter's 10 months. But yeah, she does like meal prep and like delivers food and it's all like really healthy.
Oh, nice.
And I went and interviewed her and then I recommended at our interview, we were talking about books. She's like, I'd love to start a book club. I was like, oh, you should totally do it. 3 years in, we're like best friends and on our book club. Like, I love that stuff.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah,
That's me and Rudy. We were talking about in the gym, working out, talking about doing a podcast, and here we are.
yeah, isn't that so cool? It's so fun. Podcasts are fun too. I love
yeah.
like
Oh
all
yeah,
of
you
this
meet
kind
a lot
stuff.
of different people and network, and that's how we've kind of found is letting people give their story of how they got into stuff, you know, kind of advertise themselves,
Yeah.
and kind of because a lot of times people don't see this part of their business owner, or it's a different point of view that people can actually see in Bakersfield.
Yeah. And so I started out doing YouTube videos for that, and then it was a little cumbersome. Like, I had a young kid, and it got too busy. And I'm always going to eat and going to new places. So I was just like, oh, I'll just take videos and post them. And then I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of people into this. It was so cool to see and, like, really validating.
Nice.
Yeah. Felt good. I was like, oh, I can get people to new places.
There you go.
And then, like, people are going up to my husband because he'll be in videos, and my husband is not social. We are the complete opposite. Like, if you met him, you'd be like, how are you guys even married? But at work, they'd be like, oh, my God, is this your wife? Like, does she do these videos? And I was like, how cool.
You're famous.
It feels like it sometimes.
Yeah.
Or, like, someone actually, I was at the store the other day, like, this is really weird, but I follow you on Instagram. I love your videos. Thank you so much for, like, recommending all the places to go. I'm like, oh, that's
There you
nice.
go.
Use
Yeah.
me as a real estate agent. Because sometimes people don't reach out for that. And I'm like, I'm also a real estate agent. Good at my job.
Yes.
What's been one of your favorite places here to eat? Doing the whole entire.
What food? It's gonna depend on like, cause like I've always loved Luigi's. I went to Garces, so
So
that's like
good.
a big place for me. But also, I love Locale. Their lunch is really really great. Moo Creamery is like
Moo
one of
Creamery
my
is good.
all-time
Oh, yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
People don't go enough. I think. Like I'm so excited they're gonna move downtown
Are
in
they?
one of the historical like it's a. It says like China historical something or another. They're moving into that. That's gonna look dope. The Waldorf building, I can't wait till that's done this summer. They're gonna have a
Okay.
music venue in there, and then they are reviving the old counter, so that'll be really good. I love Foxtail for cocktails. I love Smitten for kids and stuff like that, and they have the best buffalo wings. Go to Smitten over on Buena Vista.
Yeah.
So good. They're
The
probably
wings?
so much butter. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I've
wings.
had their wings. I've had their burgers and stuff there, but I've never had their wings.
I know, it's so random.
It
Who
is
would
very
think
ra-
going there for wings? But
Yeah.
they're so good. And then they started getting my favorite pie from LA. It's called Winston's Pies. So if you like pie, and I'm gluten-free, so they have gluten-free pie there. And so I love it there. And then they started doing like soft serve there too. But I love taking my daughter and like eating or like date night. It's really great. On Thursdays, they do live music and have incredible cocktails. The Botanist is super fun. Angry Barnyard for barbecue. Holy
That place is good. I've had that
It
one.
is the best barbecue in town, I think, and no one really talks about it. And we've catered it a few times, and people are like, "Where's this food from?" I'm like, "Angry Barnyard. It's so good." I guess it just depends. But if you want to go somewhere, go downtown. Freddo's Pizza is incredible.
Okay.
Tommy's is really good too, but I can't. Yeah, I should cheat and eat it. I'll get sick, but whatever, you know.
So do you guys mainly do the foods, or do you guys do other types of small businesses?
I do other small businesses too. Like I've done a few shops. I want to start doing more like beauty services too, like facials and stuff like that. Because I've definitely done a few of those too. Because I had a really good friend that does it, and she's like just the best. She does energy work. Like she'll clear your chakras while you're getting a facial.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Two for one.
Exactly. So she's really great. In her aesthetics, she does a really great job. And then, I'll go to anyone. I want to start doing more workouts too, like going to gyms and trying them out and posting them. I've done Bakersfield Bar down over on Buena Vista. I've done a video for them too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You're all over town.
Stay
I'm all
busy.
over. Yeah, and Haven Yoga there too.
Oh, nice. That's a good place. I like that one.
They are. They're
I used
so
to do a lot
good.
of yoga there.
I did too, and then I got pregnant. You can't do hot yoga when you're pregnant. Yeah, I'll cook the child, you know.
You don't want to do that.
No. Yeah, but no, I would be happy to like change services, just do a post for someone and like get the service and like post them and stuff and really like make them explode, you know what I mean? Anna, I've done Happy Hole You, one for
Nice.
her. They're so great. Because a lot of people, the problem in Bakersfield is we have a marketing issue.
Yeah.
People don't know the great stuff because it is a family town. A lot of people just stay home with their kids. No, get out, go do something fun. Go on a date with your husband. Go on a date with yourself. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Not enough people like will take themselves out to like enjoy life because so much life is about what like brings you joy. And for me, food brings me joy. Getting out and doing stuff in the local
I can
and the
tell the way
community.
you light up.
I love it. I love it so much. You guys, like, I didn't go to a chain food restaurant for 5 years living in New York. Not
Oh,
once.
dang. That's impressive.
Yeah, well, and like I ended up getting a car payment and like car insurance and all that stuff and saved $500 a month living here because me and my best friend spent so much money eating out in New York.
Wow.
But the food is so good. Like the things that light me up is art, travel, and food. Love all those things. And real estate, I do
And real
love
estate.
it, but that's work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like personal life stuff.
What's
going
a
there.
good Indian spot here?
I haven't done enough of that, but I've gone to. Where did we go? I don't remember the name, but it was really good over on Stockdale and Stein. In that, there's like a little like strip mall area over there.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know about the spot, but I know what
Yeah,
you're
but
talking
that
about.
was really good. I want to try like Javier's or what is it? I haven't tried enough Indian. I've done everything else.
'cause I know
My
there's a lot
husband
of
doesn't
those.
love Indian, so I need someone to go with me or go by myself.
Just go on a date with yourself.
Exactly. I love going eating alone. It's nice, especially after kids. Like
Be
quiet.
quiet.
This is great.
Peaceful.
I should. Where do you recommend? Do you have any good?
No,
Indian
that's what I
food?
was asking.
Yeah. They're actually New York Times just wrote an article. LA Times just wrote an article about a spot in Bakersfield.
Oh, really?
I want to try it. It's
Oh.
like paneer or something like that. I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard
Look
of
it up, but
I'll look
it was like listed like you should go to Bakersfield just for this place.
I'll definitely have to look it up then.
Yeah.
That sounds good. So for anyone transitioning back, anyone who wants to get into real estate and is on the fence and they have a job, what would you suggest for them?
I would say get your license, keep your job, and then start to work on it slowly and build up your career. To be honest, because and that or jump in with 2 feet
All
in
the way.
and get ready to hustle. Save up 6 months of pay because that is the average. You don't get your first sell until 6 months.
Wow.
So you should expect that. So if you want to go all in, get your job, start cutting your budget, and start saving 6 months of pay. Go 100% in real estate and really hustle. Like, don't be scared to get on the phone. Pick 3 things to prospect and just go all in.
I like it. And as far as rejection, how is that something you've dealt with? Is that
You get rejected a lot in real estate, especially if you're gonna do phone calls as one of your prospecting things. Get tough skin. You just can't care, and you have to think the next deal could be $8,000, because like that's probably the average commission.
okay?
So with every phone call, you're possibly $8,000. So just think that, like, oh, they didn't work out. Let's go on to the next.
Next
Let's
one.
get that $8,000.
Just the mindset.
Oh yeah, everything in real estate is 100% mindset. If you have a bad mindset, you will fail at this industry.
How have you kept your mindset kind of in the positive and more like thinking forward?
Yeah, so when I started in real estate, I was on a team in LA, and they had a business coach for us, and they worked a lot on mindset on there, and so that really taught me like skills to do that. When I was on that team, we did a lot of money mindset stuff. So they literally gave you $1,000. You spend $1,000 every single day, and you compound that money for 3 months. So you make like millions at the end. So you're spending millions of dollars, so that you're literally like mentally spending it, so that like you will bring that back to you, like the law of attraction and positive
Right.
thinking.
I like it.
Or put a $100 bill in your wallet. Don't spend that $100. Mentally spend it every time you're going out. So you just are bringing more like mental mindset.
Abundance.
Exactly. Practicing abundance. And then also for like the negative stuff, you just have to also like know yourself well and stay centered, and you like know that everyone's not for you. Every closed door is a good thing, because another door opens, and there's a reason it didn't work out, because the universe is always working for you, not against you. And if something didn't work, it's because it's bringing better for you.
Yes.
I like it.
So
Love
you
it.
just have to like think all these things, and that doesn't mean you don't have negative thoughts. You just have to
Right.
stop them. And there's also like little pattern thoughts that I've been told to do. Like there's this one skill, like if you have a negative thought, write it down, write the opposite of the truth.
There
Like
you
what,
go.
and then so you write down the negative thought, you write down what the actual truth is, what the best thing that could be, and then go find that proof. So you reach out to anyone that has had the best possible outcome happen. So you flip your brain work.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
Never heard that one before.
Yeah, me neither. That's the first time I've heard that one. That's actually really good, because
Yeah.
you analyze the thought.
You're rewiring your brain to think, well, I'm thinking this negative thing. Well, that's not the truth. What is the truth? And then you write down the truth, and then you go
You
find
that
proof.
person for proof.
It could be a person or within yourself, you know what I mean? Or the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Is there any books or podcasts that you really listen to like on the daily?
Yeah, I like Mel Robbins, or I am not the best person for this stuff, because I love my job, but I am not like, I like life learning on like quarterly. I don't want my life to be all about like I want some fun. I like a lot of fun. I have ADHD. I need some activity in my life. And sometimes these books, like, I find them dull. But, like, The Atomic Habit's really good.
Okay.
Or, like, The Millionaire Mindset and stuff like that,
Yeah, good
things
stuff.
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've listened to that one.
Make sure brain evolved.
Yes, exactly. I need to do more of that, to be honest. But I like Mel Robbins, or I listen to Armchair Expert, and I like when they have the experts on and stuff like that. They teach you a lot.
Okay, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find the podcasts and books, different books would help you rewire the brain, especially if you're having trouble with certain things.
Yeah, and I love Tom Ferry's podcast. It's actually really good for real
Okay,
estate
I have to check
agents.
that one.
Yeah.
That's actually good to know. Cause
He
it
has
probably
a lot of
breaks it-
people on there.
Does he do a lot of real estate mainly?
Yeah, it's mainly
real estate.
that and mindset stuff, but because that's what all the top dogs do is mindset work,
Yeah.
especially like in these big
Yes.
cities.
It all starts in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Conquer the mind, you can conquer the world.
100%, and staying calm and like re-regulating yourself, because our parents did not teach us how to regulate our bodies. Being a
not.
parent in this world, it's crazy. Like what you're trying to teach your children, you're like, I learned none of this. So you're like learning with them, you know?
Yes.
I'm like, this is a trip. I am not prepared. But yeah, just overcoming that and like learning how to regulate yourself, and staying calm is so important in real estate because of all the stress.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and start wrapping it up. So for the last piece, if you can give a piece of advice, whether it's life, business, what would that one piece be?
My one piece of life advice would be enjoy your life. Do not just go 100% into work, because when you die, are you going to look back and have you enjoyed any of your life? I know so many people that are in companies that they have unlimited vacation time and they literally haven't taken a vacation in 2 years. I used to take advantage of that vacation. Take a quarterly vacation. They're paying for it. You're going to get paid in that company. Like, go do it. So I think, like, work hard while you're there, but shut off and play hard too.
Yeah.
And show up
When
for your
need to.
family. Yeah. Like, experience life. Do not make your whole life work. Experience life. I think it's so important to live. And not enough people in this country live sometimes. They think work is life. Maybe it is for you, because it can be fun and great. But also, like, if you have a family or friends or, like, anything, like, fulfill yourself in what you need to do. Go travel the world.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the goal.
That's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
We travel the world now.
Yeah, I think that would be my advice. Go live.
I love
For
it.
sure.
Oh yeah, thank you for the piece of advice. Thank you for coming again. Really appreciate your insight on everything.
Of course. It was really great. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
you.
Of course.
So we'll catch you guys on the next episode. What's your story?